In the pulsating heart of Los Angeles, a star was born backslash a 2014 Mischa Barton, the enigmatic wildflower who captivated millions as Marissa Cooper on the hit TV show The O.C., but the City of Angels had a more brutal offering for this young actress, a tale of fame's fleeting kiss and the relentless hunger for redemption that would consume her soul. Born to Russian parents in London, Mischa's journey began with an immigrant family striving for a better life. Aspiring for a brighter future, they ventured across the Atlantic Ocean, seeking solace and opportunity in the land of dreams. Yet, the City of Angels proved to be as unforgiving as it was alluring, its neon lights casting long shadows over Mischa's fragile psyche. The O.C. catapulted her into the limelight, but beneath the glamorous facade, she was a girl lost in a world of chaos and confusion. Battling anonymity and the weight of expectations, she found herself ensnared by the darker recesses of Hollywood's underbelly backslash a 2014 drugs, alcohol, and a seemingly endless whirlwind of partying that threatened to destroy her from within. It is said that Mischa's downfall began with one fateful night backslash a 2014, a moment of reckless abandon that led her to disappear from the public eye for several months. The world speculated, theorized, and whispered in hushed tones about her whereabouts. But through the silence and uncertainty, she clung desperately to a sliver of hope backslash of 2014 that one day she would rise again, stronger and wiser than ever before. After a long, arduous journey of self-discovery, Mischa re-emerged from the shadows, determined to reclaim her life. Finding solace in her art, she poured herself into her craft, seeking redemption through the power of storytelling. Today, she stands before us backslash a 2014, a testament to resilience, a shining example of the indomitable spirit that lies within each and every one of us. Her tale is a reminder that even in the darkest hours, there is always a glimmer of light waiting to guide us back home. Born into a family with roots deeply entrenched in the rich cultural tapestry of London, Mischa Barton found herself navigating the complexities of life from an early age. The streets of Hampstead were her playground, a world filled with the echoes of her parents' dreams and the silent resilience bred by generations of struggle. Her father, Niels Barton, a Scotsman who had left the rugged Highlands in search of opportunity, was a man of many ambitions. An aspiring artist, he poured his heart into every stroke on the canvas, yet found himself trapped in a life that demanded more practical pursuits. His dreams were never far from Mischa's eyes, casting long shadows over her childhood and fueling the fire within her soul. Mischa's mother, Marie, was a woman of determination and grace, born into a family that had known wealth and loss in equal measure. She carried with her the burden of her parents' unfulfilled dreams, driven by an unyielding spirit that would one day spill over onto her daughter. In the Barton household, silence was as much a language as words. The weight of their collective past hung heavy in the air, shaping the environment in which Mischa would grow and learn to find her voice. This was the fertile ground where seeds of ambition were sown, nurtured by the love, pressure, and relentless desire to escape the shadows of their history. As she danced through life, Mischa began to sense the power within herself, an undeniable spark that seemed to grow brighter with each passing day. Little did she know, this light would one day illuminate the world, guiding her on a journey that would forever change her destiny. In the heart of London, under the watchful gaze of Big Ben and the sprawling expanse of Hyde Park, Mischa Barton entered the world. The air was thick with anticipation as her parents, Nuala and Peter Barton, welcomed their newborn daughter into a life brimming with potential. Born on January 24, 1986, Mischa's arrival was not marked by the usual fanfare, but instead by the quiet whispers of hope and dreams whispered between her parents. They were dreamers themselves, drawn to the allure of show business and the promises it held. Raised in the leafy suburbs of West London, Mischa's world was one of parks, playgrounds, and the endless echoes of childhood laughter. But her surroundings could not mask the underlying tension that pulsed through her family. Her parents' love for each other was as complex and dynamic as the city they called home. As a child, Mischa was a bundle of energy, her spirit as vibrant as the floral prints she adored. She was a chameleon, blending into various groups with ease but always remaining true to herself. However, beneath this facade of adaptability lay a fierce determination that would one day come to define her. Mischa's early life was marked by challenges, both personal and familial. The Bartons' marriage was a roller coaster ride of love and conflict, with tension occasionally spilling over onto their daughter. Yet, in the face of adversity, young Mischa refused to be broken. It was during a fateful day at the playground that her spark first ignited. A fall from the monkeyed bars left her with a scraped knee and a newfound resolve. The pain, she realized, could not break her spirit. This moment was the first hint of the fierce determination that would become Mischa's trademark. As she grew, so too did her love for the arts. Theater became her sanctuary, a place where she could lose herself in characters far removed from her own reality. It was here that she found solace and perhaps the key to her destiny. The world outside might have been unpredictable, but within the confines of the stage, Mischa found purpose and passion. Little did she know, this was just the beginning. In the labyrinthine landscape of Hollywood, Mischa Barton found herself in a whirlwind romance, as enchanting as it was unpredictable. The object of her affections, a mysterious and enigmatic figure, swept her off her feet, whisking her away from the glitz and glamour of Tinseltown to the cobblestone streets of Europe. Under the soft glow of moonlight, they danced through the night, their laughter echoing against ancient walls. Each stolen moment seemed like a dream woven from gold thread, fragile yet eternal. But beneath this idyllic facade lurked shadows that would threaten to shatter their fairy-tale existence. It is said that love can make us blind, and Mischa's eyes were clouded by the rosy hue of her passion. She turned a deaf ear to whispers of deceit and betrayal, choosing instead to believe in the promises painted on the canvas of their dreams. But the cruel hand of fate had other plans. As the cracks in their relationship widened, Mischa found herself standing at the precipice of heartbreak. The man she had trusted with her heart had betrayed her, leaving her to pick up the shattered pieces of a love once thought invincible. In the quiet hours of the night, as she lay alone in her bed, the tears streamed down her face like rivers flowing through an arid wasteland. The pain felt like a wound that would never heal, festering and raw with each passing moment. Yet, amidst this torrent of sorrow, Mischa found a reservoir of strength she had not known she possessed. With the help of friends and family, she clawed her way back from the brink, learning to trust again and embracing the healing power of time. In the years that followed, she would face more heartaches, more betrayals, and more moments of darkness. But each time, Mischa rose from the ashes like a phoenix, more resilient, more determined, and more fiercely independent than ever before. Love had shown her the depths of human pain, but it also revealed the boundless capacity for healing, growth, and transformation. And in the end, Mischa Barton would come to understand that love, like life itself, was a delicate dance between heartache and redemption. In the pulsating heart of Los Angeles, a young artist named Mischa Barton, with dreams as vast as the Pacific Ocean, was navigating the treacherous currents of Hollywood's ever-changing tides. Born to parents who were actors themselves, Mischa had been nurturing her craft since childhood, but it was her role in a television show called The O.C. that would propel her into the limelight. The show was an instant hit, and Mischa's character, Marissa Cooper, became a cultural icon. Yet, Amidst the flashing lights and deafening cheers, Mischa felt a gnawing void. The world saw her as a carefree, glamorous teen, but she carried the weight of countless secrets, the burdens of fame, and the fear of losing it all. Her days were filled with long hours on set, rehearsals that stretched into the wee hours of the night, and endless public appearances where her every move was scrutinized. Yet she persevered, fueled by a fire ignited by those who doubted her. Critics had dismissed her as an overnight sensation, one who lacked the substance to sustain a career in Hollywood. But Mischa was no stranger to adversity. She had weathered storms far more tempestuous than this. In the quiet hours before dawn, when the city slept and the world seemed silent, Mischa would retreat to her sanctuary, a small apartment tucked away in the bustling heart of LA. Here, amidst the clutter of scripts, costume sketches, and half-empty coffee cups, she honed her craft. She pored over lines, seeking the truth in each word, and immersed herself in character studies, exploring the depths of human emotion. It was during one such late-night session that Mischa received a call that would change her life forever. The producers of the OC were considering a significant plot twist for her character, a twist that would challenge Mischa's acting abilities like never before. She felt a surge of adrenaline coursing through her veins. This was the break she had been waiting for. The months leading up to the reveal were fraught with tension and anticipation. Mischa threw herself into her work, her every waking moment consumed by the character she had come to embody. When the episode aired, the world watched in stunned silence as Marissa's life unraveled before their eyes. The response was overwhelming, fans were captivated, critics were astounded, and Mischa knew that she had found her destiny. It wasn't fame or fortune that drove her, but the fire within, a burning desire to prove herself, to silence the doubters, and to carve out a place in Hollywood's pantheon of great actors. And so, Mischa Barton continued to rise, her name etched into the annals of television history. But she never forgot those early days of struggle, the silent hours spent honing her craft, and the fear that gripped her heart as she stood on the precipice of stardom. For Mischa, fame was not a destination, but a journey, a testament to resilience, perseverance, and raw ambition. In the dazzling glow of stardom, Mischa Barton found herself standing atop the world, a cherished member of the illustrious cast of the OC. The young actress had captured the hearts of millions, her radiant smile and captivating performances etching an indelible mark on the minds of viewers across America. Yet, as the cameras continued to flash and the applause echoed through the halls of fame, a chilling wind began to whisper through the cracks of Mischa's carefully constructed facade. The years that followed were a dizzying roller coaster ride, an emotional whirlwind that tested the limits of her resilience and raw ambition. A series of injuries plagued her, each setback seemingly more devastating than the last. One by one, the roles she had once coveted slipped through her fingers, leaving her grappling with the bitter taste of loss and regret. It was during these darkest hours that Mischa's closest confidants, her trusted friends, would betray her. Whispers in the locker room turned into shouts, the echoes of their betrayal reverberating through the hollowed chambers of her soul. The media, ever hungry for a sensational story, circled like vultures, eager to dissect every mistake and misstep she made. In the face of such relentless adversity, Mischa's spirit threatened to shatter into 1,000 pieces. But within her, a spark remained up 2014, a flicker of determination that refused to be extinguished. And so she fought, clawing her way back from the brink of obscurity and obscurity itself. The road to redemption was long and fraught with peril, but Mischa pressed onward, undeterred by the seemingly insurmountable obstacles that stood in her path. With each step forward, she drew strength from her past struggles, using them as fuel for her never-ending quest to reclaim her place among the stars. And then, one fateful day, it happened. The world that had once turned its back on her embraced her once more, welcoming Mischa Barton back into the fold with open arms. In that moment, she realized that even in the darkest hours, there was a light burning within her / 2014, a light that could not be extinguished by injury, betrayal, or scandal. As she stood on the precipice of a new dawn, Mischa Barton felt a profound sense of gratitude and humility wash over her. She had survived the storm, navigating treacherous waters, with nothing but her raw ambition and indomitable spirit to guide her. And in that moment, she knew that no matter what lay ahead, she would face it with courage, resilience, and a fierce determination to prove that she belonged among the stars. Mischa Barton, once the radiant star of the Haute Sea, found herself lost in the labyrinth of Hollywood after a brief stint of fame. But amidst the whirlwind of fleeting success, she held onto an indomitable spirit, a resilience that would define her journey and propel her toward triumph. As the years ticked by, Mischa faced challenges that would test even the strongest of souls. The glitz and glamour of Hollywood seemed but a distant memory, replaced by the harsh reality of struggling auditions, rejections, and the ever-looming specter of obscurity. But within her heart, a fire burned, an ember ignited during those halcyon days when she walked the red carpet and graced magazine covers. One fateful day, a script crossed her path, a story that resonated deeply with Mischa's soul. It was a role she felt destined to play, one that would challenge her as an artist and allow her to reclaim the throne she had once held so precariously. With unwavering determination, she threw herself into the part, pouring every ounce of her being into the character. The days leading up to the audition were a maelstrom of anxiety and self-doubt. Mischa could hear the whispers of those who believed her time had passed, the naysayers who questioned whether she still possessed the talent that had once captivated millions. But in the quiet moments before the storm, she found solace in the memories of her past triumphs, the laughter and camaraderie shared with castmates, and the exhilaration of stepping onto a set and becoming someone else entirely. The audition room was a crucible, a fiery furnace that tested Mischa's mettle. She stood before the panel of judges, her heart racing like a wild stallion, her palms slick with sweat. But as she spoke the lines, brought to life the character that had captured her imagination, she felt an indescribable connection, a bond that transcended words on a page. The days turned into weeks, and then months, as Mischa waited for a decision. Each passing moment was a battle, a fight against the demons of self-doubt that gnawed at her sanity. But within her heart, she knew she had given her all, had poured every ounce of her being into the audition. And there was no greater victory than knowing one had fought with everything they had. And then, on a day as ordinary as any other, Mischa's phone rang. The offer was hers / 2014, the role that would change the trajectory of her career and reclaim her place in the annals of Hollywood history. As she hung up the phone, a tear of joy rolled down her cheek, a testament to the indomitable spirit that had carried her through the darkest days. That day, Mischa Barton stood tall once more, her head held high and her heart filled with the fire of determination. She had weathered the storm, had fought the battles and emerged victorious. And as she embarked on this new chapter, she knew that she would continue to chase her dreams, to strive for greatness, and to never surrender to the whispers of doubt and despair. For in the end, it was not just a role or a career she had fought for / 2014. It was everything she had ever dreamed of, wrapped into one unforgettable moment that would echo through the halls of Hollywood forevermore. In the sprawling, sun-drenched landscape of Hollywood, where dreams are born and legends forged, there once walked a young star named Mischa Barton. Her face graced billboards. Her name echoed through tabloids. and she was the embodiment of the American dream, a small-town girl who found fame in the City of Angels. Yet, as quickly as stardom had swept her off her feet, it seemed to abandon her just as suddenly. After the captivating run of the OC, Mischa's career began to falter, like a ship adrift on a stormy sea. The roles dried up, and the red carpet events became fewer and farther between. It was as if she had vanished from the world she once knew so intimately. Yet, within this twilight, Mischa did not crumble. Instead, she found solace in her craft, honing her skills and exploring new artistic avenues. She dabbled in theater, experimented with directing, and even tried her hand at writing. Each venture was a testament to her resilience, a reminder that she was more than just the girl from the OC. However, the ghost of fame lingered, casting a long, ominous shadow over Mischa's life. Some believed she had squandered her success, while others saw her struggles as part of the inevitable ebb and flow of Hollywood. Yet, through it all, Mischa persevered, finding solace in the friendship of like-minded artists who understood her plight. Their shared garden became a sanctuary, a place where they could nurture their dreams and heal their wounds. It was here that Mischa found her strength, learning to embrace her past while forging a new path forward. As the years passed, Mischa's star dimmed but never fully disappeared. She continued to act, albeit in smaller roles, and even made a triumphant return to television with a critically acclaimed show. Yet it was not the accolades or the fame that defined her legacy. Instead, it was the spirit of resilience she embodied, the refusal to be defined by her past struggles. Today, when fans speak of Mischa Barton, they speak with a tone of reverence and admiration. They remember not just the star who graced their screens, but the woman who fought for her dreams, who rose from the ashes of decline, and who found redemption in the most unexpected of places. And as we look back on Mischa's journey, a question lingers: what does it truly mean to be a star? Is it fame and fortune, or is it the indomitable spirit that refuses to be tamed? For Mischa Barton, the answer is clear: she is more than just a star. She is a symbol of hope, a beacon of resilience, and a testament to the power of the human spirit. Dear friends, I hope this tale of Mischa Barton has left an indelible mark on your hearts, just as her journey has etched its way into our collective memory. As we bid farewell to her story, let us remember not just the struggles she faced, but the resilience that propelled her forward. Mischa Barton, a name that echoes through the annals of Hollywood, will forever be intertwined with our own experiences, reminding us of the power of perseverance and the strength of the human spirit. If you found yourself moved by her journey, I invite you to subscribe for more stories like this, where we delve deep into the lives of those who dared to dream. Until then, let's hold on to the lessons we've learned, the empathy we felt, and the hope we've shared, for it is in these moments that we truly understand what it means to be human.